Okay, los geht's. So, good evening, Samra. Nice to talk to you today. And really happy that you're joining the show today and talk a little bit about yourself and about horses in Gujarat and police horses in Gujarat particularly. So, yes. So, hello. How are you today?
Hi, I'm happy to talk to you, Uta.
Good. First of all, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Where did you grow up? Which role horses played in your life before you moved to India? And yeah, just tell us a little bit who you are, what you do, and all.
Okay, so I'm Samara Yücel. I was born in Duisburg in Germany, and I'm 46 years old at the moment. And I studied and grew up in Germany and met my husband at the university, and we fell in love crazily. And so he is an Indian, and then I came to India, and we settled down here, have 2 kids, like this whole thing. And I came in touch with horses. I came when I always loved horses. My whole life I loved horses, but I was never able to learn riding or anything. So it started only when I was, I think, 3-4 years ago. So I had the opportunity. I always tried to find something, but it never happened. So 3-4 years ago, I found the police horses here. My husband is in police. He's IPS. So there are so many police horses here, and I could learn riding here. I started riding in Gujarat on police horses.
Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, so you actually learned it in India. That's so cool. So how did that work out? Did you go to the stables and did somebody teach you there, or did you just, say mount a horse and started riding a bit on your own? How did that go?
Well, I went there. My husband introduced me, like, this is my wife, and teach her riding. And that it was just like very easy. The Indians learn riding the cool way. That's what I'm saying. They just sit on the horse and start riding. So it was like one horse after each other. And okay, just try not to fall down and go. I went. It was like that. And slowly, I was always feeling that how it is on the horse and get the rhythm. And just, if you don't fall down, just go. And all the other police riders did that and learned that this way too. Although I liked it because they don't make so much fuss around it. You just sit and you can, because it is one horse after each other, you can really just concentrate on your feelings on the horse. You don't have to direct the horse or anything. It just goes straight. The horse is going straight, one after each other. And I think it's not so bad to learn it this way.
I see. So you did learn it in a group together with all the other police recruits?
Yeah, first I did 2-3 rounds on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And then other horses, there was always 2-3 horses. And then one after each other, we were riding. It was like that. And I was behind, and my horse was following the first horse, and I didn't do anything, just concentrated on the horse and on the movement. And it was nice. I had a nice horse. It had very good, it was walking very smoothly. I liked it.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's great. And you loved it. And I mean, today you go in the stable every day. I know that. And you ride every day these horses. And yeah, it's amazing how quick you learned it. So tell us a little bit about the horses they have in the police force in Gujarat. What type of horses are they? What type of life they had? What are they used for? Just a little bit better so that people understand what police horses in India are used for.
They have all kinds of horses. Like they have Marwari horses. They have lots of Marwari horses, but they have warm blood thoroughbreds also coming from Australia. And so it's a mix. They have thoroughbreds, they have Marwari horses, and they have mix. Like they do their own breeding. They mix the thoroughbreds with Marwari horses. So they have the mix also. So you can ride all of them. And I was able to ride all of them. And it's very interesting because they are different. They are thoroughbreds. They have like they're riding, you like go up and down. There's so much movement in them. In Marwari, horses are a little bit lower, so it's more like easy to ride on them, more smooth. So it's different. I learned on Marwari, and only when I came to Germany, I was riding thoroughbreds, and then I learned the difference. I did not know that thoroughbreds were like this. It's funny. The Indians are are different to the horses, like the European, like they are giving them good massage that I liked. So every day they get washed and they get a massage from the head to toe, and they did it very nicely in Palanpur. That's where I learned riding. So I really liked it. It was like caressing the horse, and the horses also liked it. On the other hand, they're also rough. Like they're not so caressing the horse. On the other hand, like when the horse is doing some stuff they don't like, it's more like they give some rough answer to them also. What I found amazing is that many police riders don't seem to ride so good. Like when you look at them, they don't have these like straight posture. They teach us in Europe that you have to sit straight and, you know, take the balance and all that. They just ride. And sometimes I look at them on the back, from the back, and then one is like very like diagonal and like this, but it doesn't matter. They have the horse under control. It's like we're riding and the horse is doing what we want and the horse is okay with it also. So then I think like maybe it's like we do fuss too much around with this stuff. I don't know, but it's like some kind of easy riding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I guess we in Europe are a little bit more particular about our seat and about how it should look like, and that, you know, heels down and you know, body straight and this and that. Yeah, I guess in India people are a bit more, I guess it's more a kind of making sure that you control the horse. I mean, they work with the horses, so it's their life which is at stake if they fall down during patrolling duties and stuff like that. So how many horses do they have in the stable in Ahmedabad you're riding at the moment?
There must be around 30, 35. At the moment, there are so many new horses. They bought 150 new horses for all of Gujarat, and they get training there at the moment. So they're raw horses, and they called many people from all the states and 2-3 people from every district, and then they train the horses there. So all 150 horses getting trained at once. So it's interesting. You see the horses, some, you know, you see the characters, the wild ones and the cool ones. It's interesting.
How old are they when they get the training?
So it's like 3.5. They get the training.
I see. And how long does it take until they are kind of broken for?
They give them a training of 3 months.
Okay.
3 months.
Right, and then they slowly integrate it into the service.
Then they come to the district. The people who came from the districts to train them just take them with them, and then their police work starts.
I see. So tell us a little bit about the schedule they have in the stable. Like when do they get fed, and then what they do, and what is the life of the police horse looks like in Ahmedabad?
It is like in the morning, in the winters, they do some training with them. It starts at 6 o'clock. And then for an hour or something, they get the training. And then at 9 o'clock, all the stable gets cleaned, and then they get their food. And then they stay in the stable itself. They don't have any other training anymore. They get at 5 o'clock, they get food and grass. And that's it. In the evening, they go out, they do their duty, or in the daytime, when there any other, when there is some festivity or something, they do some cavalry. I don't know. In front they do some. I don't know what to say. You know, when they do some
crowd controlling.
Yeah, no, road controlling, and also in front of they do some, you know, guarding it. They stand there, and then the music is also playing, and then they have to stand there, and then they have to make a round and everything. For this they are used for round patrol.
Right.
patrolling for when some minister is coming, then they're also standing there. This
Mm.
type of things they're doing. They're very cool horses. When they're outside on the road, they don't care.
Mm. Do they get special training, like with the traffic or with like fire or with crowd? Do they give like some particular special training in the beginning, or do they just take them on the go and they learn it as they proceed?
They learn that as they proceed. There are always 2-3 horses which are more calm, so older
Mhm.
horses, and then all the other horses just go with them, and they learn it on the go. It's like they are learning riding on the go. The horses also learn on the go.
Learn the duty in the go.
Mostly
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
amazing. Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
mean, it is right. In India, people are very relaxed about these things, and yeah, I've seen that. Okay, fine, the horse will do. Don't worry, he'll manage. Yes, yes, it will be good. Yeah, that's something I really like about India, that people are so relaxed about things, and that kind of transfers to the horses as well, right? They go out there, the riders relax, so the horses relax, so they think, okay, fine, the horse in front of me is calm, I'll be calm too. Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. So they do have a tough life, but yeah, they have a lot of work or duty to do. But there's also games, right? They use them for show jumping competitions and stuff like that, right?
Yes, they do that especially look in this training mostly happens in the winter. And in the winter they do for 4 months. They choose from every district. Some persons come to Ahmedabad, and there is the main station for training horses.
Right.
And they get horses which are ready for tournament, like tent pegging they do, and show jumping.
Mm-hmm.
These are the stuffs, and there's something like going around the barrels and
Bell
then
racing.
jumping, like something like that.
Some gymkhana type.
They take some horses from districts which are good, and then they do some 3 to 4 months training here, and then these horses get trained every day in these disciplines, and then they take part in tournaments. It's mostly happening in January, February.
Yeah, because it's
Before
winter.
there was some, yes, in winter. Yeah.
Just tell us one thing, tent pegging, because I think most of the listeners are not aware what that is. What is tent pegging?
Tent pegging is a sport where you're riding on a horse, like 2 horses are riding, or 3-4 horses, and in a straight line around, I don't know, maybe 100 meter, maybe, and they are going in canter very fast, side by side in a straight line, and the rider has a long spear in his hand, and then there is some small white cartonnage on the ground in some distance, and the riders have to try and pick the cartonnage with their spears. Right. And the one who picks the cartonnage and gets to the end of the distance first, he wins.
Right. Yeah, that's little kind wooden boards, right? They have to pick up with a spear. They're kind of in full gallop picking them up, and yeah, the one who has most wins. Yeah, it's a sport which is particular. You find it in India and Pakistan mostly, and yeah, it's quite interesting to watch it. It's amazing. The skills of the riders picking these tents, these pegs. I think they call them pegs. How they pick them up. It's amazing. So are you able to watch these games sometimes?
Yes, they do that. They do that. There are some festivals sometimes, and then they perform and show what they can do. Or at there's festivals. At festivals, they show what they can do, or at tournaments, they show. Right. They're good in this. They also tried. They said, "Come on, learn it." But I'm not good with the spear. I'm better in jumping. So.
It is tough. I've tried it out once or twice, and it requires a lot of skill. And I guess you have to practice it pretty much daily on a day-to-day basis, and in order to be good at it. So I tried it once or twice, and I sucked a lot. So I said, okay, fine. I stick to my more conventional sports, I guess. So what I wanted to ask you, I forgot. Shit, I had the question in my mind.
I can tell you in Palanpur.
Yeah?
Yes.
No, I was just saying, like, actually, my I'm going to cut that out afterwards. My dog just came on the terrace and he's totally covered in mud. That threw me off guard for a second. He's totally like muddy. And he just came to me, hello, I love you. And he's like totally muddy. And okay, we cut that out. Back to the questions. Yeah, so as I assume the duty with the horses, that's all men, right, in the police force. Are there any women allowed in the police
Yes,
force?
they're all only men.
Okay, so women are
They're
not
only men.
right. So women are not allowed at all, or is it just they are not interested in joining?
I don't know if they're not allowed, but there is no woman there.
Right.
But normally they don't take any woman, and women are not interested also. Like I don't know any woman. I have never heard that anyone wants to go into police and do the horse riding stuff, because they do a little bit hard. They're a little bit hardworking. The horses are mostly considered wild because they're keeping them inside. Mostly inside. They are tied up, and they don't keep them outside. So a little bit they're aggressive. That's why it is a little bit dangerous, of course, and that's too hard, obviously, for the woman, for the Indian woman.
Yeah, that's right. Also, it's so much male dominated in India that I guess women are just simply not interested in joining the police force. Yeah, or say in joining the mounted police in India.
I think they're not encouraged. I think even if they would want, nobody would encourage them to do that.
No, neither their families nor, I guess, the police department itself, because there's lots of police constables who are women. A lot of women are in the police themselves, but yeah, not in the horse field. So what about you, being a woman and a foreigner in the stables? What do they think about you? And do you feel that you're accepted, or do you feel that you're kind of always a bit of an outsider?
Of course, I'm always a bit of an outsider. This is clear. But after some time, when they see that you are doing the same work that they are doing, and you get along with the horses very nicely, and sometimes even better than they do, then they accept you. It's just because when you come every day and you do the work and the same work like they do, then they accept you.
Right. So that's great. So would you have the chance of also participating in these games, or are they just for police officers or kind of police personnel only? Yeah, like these competitions.
I never tried to participate in these games, but I think if I would like to, then I could.
Okay. So why wouldn't you like? I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to participate one day?
Yeah, it would be interesting, but still now I didn't have the right horse for that. No, you have to have the right horse to anticipate. No? Otherwise, I don't want to anticipate when I know that I cannot win, right? I want to win also.
Okay, so you want to participate to win. I see. So can you just like when you go to the stables now every day, you usually pick a horse which you ride particularly. So which type of horse, or which horse you're allowed to ride? Do you ride a horse which is also going into patrol duty, or do you usually ride a horse which is anyway not used much for riding?
Well, I can pretty much, of course, I talk with them, no, which horse can I take, but I can also choose. So any type of horse I can ride which is not in use at the moment, like a normal horse, which normally at the evening is doing patrolling, then I cannot ride it that day in the morning. But if it's not having any petrol, then I can use it in the morning and ride it.
Okay.
Just like that.
Right.
But I mostly chose horses which they don't use so much, because I don't want to interfere in their police work. So I have chosen 2-3 horses by myself, which were a little bit like, which they are not using, which were difficult task for them. And then I made them rideable, and then I go with that.
Right, I see. So do you have contact also to some non-police people riding horses in Ahmedabad? Because I know there's plenty of horse people in Ahmedabad itself. There's a bit of some riding clubs as well, doing some activities. Do you have some contact into there as well, or not at all?
I don't have any contact to
Mm.
that at all.
Okay.
Before there was a riding club in Ahmedabad also, and then on a daily basis, some students came, some girls and boys came for learning riding, and that was very nice. I liked that
Right.
because there was some spirit in that, and everybody is a little bit horse crazy, and we could learn from each other. I could teach them, and then I could see it. It was very nice. But now it stopped, and so I'm left alone with the police people.
Right.
It's like that.
Was that organized from the police side, or was it some private person, some private trainer coming there and organizing it on the police horses? How did that come to be?
It was organized from the police department. It was
Okay.
the police riding club, and it was like 20 years it was going on, something like that. Only recently, last year, it stopped out of some reason which I don't understand. Well, I hope it will start again.
Yeah, well, keep my fingers crossed. Maybe they'll start it again, because I think it's a nice opportunity for kids also. And as they have a lot of horses there, it's well, it's a good way to use them. Good. I still wanted to talk to you a little bit more about this kind of policing duty. Gujarat actually is the state with most police horses still doing duty. I think there's more than 600 of them in Gujarat itself. And of course, in various other states, here in Rajasthan, in Udaipur, we also have a small police stable, not nowhere as big as Ahmedabad. We do have some officers patrolling, particularly the parks in Udaipur on horseback, and the old city where it's difficult to enter the vehicles. So that's, of course, pretty good idea, I guess. So what do you think about having horses in the police duty? Do you think it's kind of outdated, or do you think they still doing a good job there?
I think they're still doing a good job because India itself is not such modern as it is. Like not everywhere are the roads so easily, other roads so good that there are cars going easily there, and many people, when you have masses of people, then you have to impress them sometimes. And
Right.
when there are some horses, they're getting afraid. When there are like 3-4 horses coming, then you can control the masses better
the
than
crowds,
with
yeah.
some cars and with people. Sometimes they're getting pretty rough and they're throwing stones and everything. And of course, it's more easy to throw stones at some cars than at 3, 4, 5 horses coming in a row. Then they get impressed from that, and it's more easy to control them. So I think they're doing something.
Yeah, right. I think it was a couple of years ago, there was a case in the newspaper. I think it was in Himachal Pradesh, that's a state in northern India, where actually it was a politician. He attacked a police horse, and the police horse broke his leg, I think, as a result of that attack. Did you discuss that, or did you hear about that?
No, I did not hear that.
Oh, interesting. Well, maybe it's been a couple of years, so maybe it was, it was Himachal Pradesh. It was a bit more in the north, so maybe it wasn't that widely discussed, because we had a bit of a discussion here with the veterinary doctors as well, and my farrier, and they all were very outraged that somebody, and particularly I think he was a member of the Legislative Assembly. He was a big politician, local politician, that he took a stick and he was beating the horse, and the horse actually he had these injuries. He broke his leg, and what they did, they amputated the leg and they gave him a prosthesis. I don't know if that horse is still alive, but
really, no, I didn't.
Yeah, they were really they got some really good veterinary doctors, because I mean it was a big case. It was India-wide. It was on TV and in the newspapers, and well, I'm not sure what happened, because it was never followed up, unfortunately, because it's a big news, a big headline at that time, but unfortunately these cases, they get forgotten, I know, after a while. But just was interested to if you kind of heard about that. So yeah, so I think it's good too, because there is particularly, as I said, in Udaipur, they do a lot of patrolling with horses in the park areas where you cannot enter with a vehicle, and it gives the people, so I guess, a feeling of safety to see the police officers riding through there on horseback patrolling there. Okay, turning a bit back to you. So you purchased a horse just last week, was it?
Yeah, I purchased a horse because I After you always ride the horses which are there, and I really love it. You get experience on different horses, and you get a better rider and everything. But you always have to give the horse back, right?
Right.
And you cannot control everything. Like you, after 2 years, you go to some new stable,
Right.
and I want to go. I want to proceed. I want to learn a little bit more with a horse. So
Right.
now I want to proceed. I want to learn something more. I want to grow bigger with one horse and do more stuff. And that's why I earned my own horse.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see.
You
I
want to
will still
journey.
go into the stable, and yeah,
Yeah. You want to
I will
journey
do.
with your
Let's
horse.
see what will happen.
I can totally understand that. I guess I would also want to do the same thing because if it's your own horse, I mean, you have it for so many years. You can do what you like and take it with you where you want to go and all. So, are you going to plan to keep it with the police horses, or are you planning to keep it somewhere else?
I'm not sure how it works at the moment. So it's still very new, and we're trying to find a place. What is sure that I will enter the police stable also with the horse, and I will join the training, because sometimes I do some training, and then I want to do it with this horse in the stable with
Right.
other horses together. It's great to have company, and the people, they know so much. You can learn from that,
Right.
and it's just nice like this, and
So that
maybe some mix out of it. It depends on where I will stay, and if I have enough space to keep the horse or not, and if it will be near my house, or let's see.
yeah, right. So you also want to join maybe the competitions in future with your own horse?
Yeah, maybe
So
it
tell us
depends on what the horse has.
right. Yeah, of course. So tell us a little bit about what kind of horse you bought, how old, and from where. How did you find it? Because that's something I think everyone is really interested in listening to.
It's a very young horse. I know it is a young horse. It is 2 years, like 23 months, and it's not rideable at the moment, of course. But
Sure.
I can build it up. So mostly the horses here, they're grown a little bit rough and tough, and they don't get, for example, like minerals and all that things. And when it's young, I hope that with putting some minerals and giving him some proper training from small age, like now, and giving him some space to run, because mostly police horses don't have so much space to run. They're mostly
Yes.
kept tight, and that's why they're a little bit underdeveloped, what I think. That is
Right.
something that should be changed. I think in future it will be changed. And so I found it over some agents, like somebody, the mineral powder agent. My husband called him and said, my wife wants to have a horse. And then this guy said, okay, I know some people, I will send you some videos. So we got videos, and then I was watching them. And then I liked one in particularly, and then we went. It was 2-3 hours away in a small village. And then you enter the village, and then you see the people, like really village people, Indian village people, like living in very, small houses, and having their cows. And then they have their 3-4 mares there they're using
Right.
for breeding. And then they have the horses. They're in Banaskantha, near the Rajasthan border. And then I saw that horse, and then I was a little bit, I did something with it, and I liked it. It's a bit lunging and everything, and I liked it, and then I bought it. I hope that I can do some, I want to try some liberty dressage on it. Let's see. So, and till it's able to ride till 1.5 years, and then I will start riding it. I think it will be more easy to train the horse myself than to ride the horses that are already there. Like, there are so many horses there in police, and they know their tricks. They
Mm.
know their tricks, and to make them rideable again is very hard. Then I started training a horse there also from the 150 horses. I started to train it, and then I thought, wow, it is so easy. The horse is doing what I want. There is no problem. Like, there
Mhm.
was no problem. When you have a raw horse, there is no problem in particular, because the horse is raw, right? And I said, hey, what they can do, I can do also. More easily, it's more easy than taking a horse which is 7-8 years and has some problems, And
Right.
that's what motivated me. and I think I can do that. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, wish you best of luck. And yeah, sometimes it is easier to start
Thank
with
you.
a green horse because, it hasn't had at least a lot of bad experience yet. So you can work with him just straight from the beginning and, see how you're going to shape it in future. So yeah, so that's
Yeah,
your next equestrian journey. I think it's going to be really interesting to
yeah.
see where the two of you end in a couple of years. So
Let's see.
when do you plan
There's something like
when do you plan to bring him to Ahmedabad?
I don't know. Let's see, in the next 2-3 weeks, I will bring him.
Right. So what I wanted to ask you. So it's a Marwari horse, right? The one you purchased.
It's a Marwari horse. It's a colt. I will make him a gelding. He's brown. He's like 60 inches. I hope he will grow a little bit. He's very elegant, and I chose him because I think he's a nice guy. Like, I don't want to have any wild horse anymore. I want to have a
Right.
nice guy. Like, of
Easy
course I
going.
do my work, but yeah. And
Right.
let's see.
So
He's good looking.
does he have a name yet?
His name is Rajmani.
Ah, okay. Raj. Say that again.
Rajmani.
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 Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
The ears, they are like red, and they're touching each other. It just look like a small crown on the head. It's very
Right.
sweet.
Well, can't wait to meet him. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun together. I wanted to ask you one more question, which I'll probably put somewhere in the beginning because I forgot to ask it before. It's about the police horses. So at what time usually, or at what age usually the police horses retire?
Police horses retire when they are not suitable anymore.
Okay, so what?
Like, when they're going, then they're going. Until they don't have anything, they do their work. I don't know, especially if there is a rule at what age they have to retire. But we have one horse there which is 25 years old, and which is still there, which is not retired.
Right.
So I think they are going till they
Can't
can't
go
do anymore. There are so many horses. Yeah. There's 2-3 horses which are also retired, but they just stand there.
I see. So what happens when they retire? So some horses they keep there, but the majority, I mean, if you can't keep
them.
like, they keep them?
Yes, they keep them. They are not allowed. No, there is no system like we sell our horses off or anything. Once a police horse, always a police horse. So always a police horse till you die. So they just keep them till they die.
Okay, I see. Interesting. Great. So that was interesting talking to you. At the end of each of our episodes, we actually have a nice little custom which we started. So we asked some rapid fire questions. So these are questions you should not think much about it. Just answer in like a sentence or a word, whatever comes to your mind first, right? So it's a little bit funny questions.
Okay.
Good. Let's start off. As this trip today, we talk mostly about horses, but this podcast is actually also about traveling and about adventures. So I'm asking you, what is your must-pack item on any of your trip you're going to?
Toothbrush.
Okay. So are you more a long-term planner or like a more spontaneous wing-it style traveler?
Long-time planner. I am.
So you like to plan it. What's your favorite horse breed?
Can't say.
Not the Marwari horse?
No, I can't say. I like both. I like really both.
Okay. So if you could spend 1 year off, paid year off, where would you go?
I would go riding somewhere. I would go maybe to Spain and ride the Spanish horses. Like, I would ride so many different horses, maybe go to Vienna and ride the horses there, something.
Okay. Besides riding, what other hobbies do you have?
I pretty much. What other hobbies do I have?
Right.
That's it. I don't
That's
have
it.
any
Horse
money.
riding.
No, I don't have. Yeah, yeah.
So what did you do before you started riding?
What did I do? I learned so much. I was, I was always occupied in school and learning and everything. And when I do something, I always do it with heart. So there's not much beside. Like I'm
I
like,
see.
there's my goal and that I want to do, and then I do it. And
Right.
there's not much space besides. So I was
Right.
just, doing my studies and.
Perfect. So what is your biggest addiction?
Oh, I like ice cream.
Okay.
I can bath in ice cream. I love ice cream. I don't know. Once I started not to eat any sugar, yeah, I managed it. I don't eat sugar, but ice cream, like
So vanilla or chocolate?
any. Just butterscotch, I don't like so much.
Really? I love butterscotch.
Yeah, yeah, you see. Then you can have the butterscotch.
Okay, I take the butterscotch and I give you everything else.
Okay.
So are you an early bird or night owl?
Uh, uh, oh, I wanted to say early bird. Then I felt like I'm an owl.
Well, you get up fairly early because you ride early morning, right? So you're up early, go to the stable first thing in the morning, and then come back and get your kids ready for school, right?
Yeah, but I'm standing up early, but it's no fun.
Okay, so if you could, you would actually
Like
wake
that.
up later.
Yes, yes.
I see. What book are you currently reading?
I'm reading a book over like from Ingrid Klimke. You gifted it to me. This Cavaletti book.
I did,
That's
right.
why I'm reading
Cavaletti
that.
Work from Ingrid Klimke. It is a great book. I can
Yeah.
really recommend it to anyone who wants to do some Cavaletti work or who basically wants to work on general issues for the horse. Yeah, that's okay. Great.
Mm.
So what was the last horse movie you watched? Or do you watch horse movies?
Yes, I watched them. I forgot the name. It was about some horse which from Steven Spielberg, who went into war and then
War Horse.
met his boy again after his soldier.
It was
War
called,
Horse. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
War
War
Horse.
Horse from Steven Spielberg. Yeah, yeah. That
I'm not sure
I
that it
watched.
was a Steven Spielberg movie, but yeah, I watched it. I think I watched it somewhere on the flight because I usually don't watch movies at home because I don't have the time to watch any movies at home. And but I did watch that on the flight from India to Germany, I think, a couple of years ago. It was a nice movie, but it was very sad, wasn't it?
In the end, they got together again. What's sad
Yeah,
about that?
yeah, okay. It was a happy ending, but I mean the horses in the wars and stuff, and so many horses. It was about horses in World War One, and many of them got killed there, right?
Yeah, people also got killed. Everybody.
Yeah.
It was war is never good now.
No, I mean war is never a good place, but it's not a good place for horses. I still remember that one scene. I think it will never leave me. That I think it was a gas attack, and everyone kind of retreated to the trenches. And the one horse was, I don't know, was lost because there was an attack, so it was wandering around, and there was a gas coming up, and the horse was just wandering. Nobody, I don't think they, I don't know what happened to that horse in the end, but oh God, I found that so sad. I had to cry. I literally had to cry. I cry a lot when I watch sad movies, and I had to cry a lot with that movie. But yeah.
I also cry easily.
Well, trying to finish on a
We can
more
cry together one sometime.
try to finish on a bit of a more happy note. It was really great talking to you, and I absolutely enjoyed our little chit chat today, and I hope our audience enjoyed this interview as much as I did. So thanks so much, Samra, for coming on the show. I'll interview you again definitely in a couple of years, or say, let's see, maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe I'll do something. Definitely.
So you can definitely tell
I
me.
will do something.
Perfect. You tell
I
me
will go
how.
on with my.
You'll go on with your
Yeah,
horsemanship, and then you tell me all what happened, what's
I'll do
happening,
that.
how your horse is doing, and how you're doing
100%.
with them. Right? So thank you so
Okay.
much for talking to me today, and have a great day.
Have a great day. Thank you. Nice talking to you. See you. Bye.
See you. Bye. I'm not going to
Bye.
quit straight away, but I will switch up the recording now.